pain, pressure, setbacks, key bridge sphere. They come for everyone. No one walks through life untouched by struggle. It doesn't matter who you are, what you have, or where you come from. Life has a way of testing you. The moment you set out to do something meaningful, the moment you decide to climb higher, resistance appears. It's the law of growth. Nothing worth having comes without the fight. There are moments when it feels like the world is closing in, when everything you thought was stable starts to shake. Plans fall apart, people you trusted disappear, the path ahead blurs until all you can see is uncertainty. In those moments, you begin to question everything, your strength, your worth, your purpose. You start to wonder if you have what it takes to keep going. Ibrahim, but listen closely. Struggle is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. It's the fire that refines you, the storm that strengthens your roots. Without pressure, there is no diamond. Without struggle, there is no strength. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that tried to break you, was shaping you into something more powerful than you can imagine. The pain you feel today is proof that you're still fighting, still alive, still becoming. Life doesn't hand you strength. It demands it from you. It will test you until you learn that comfort is a cage and growth is found in the grind. The world will try to convince you that ease is the goal, that success is about shortcuts and instant rewards. But the truth is, everything great was built through pain, through sacrifice, discipline, and relentless effort. The struggle isn't here to destroy you. It's here to build you. When the pressure rises and everything inside you wants to give up, that's the moment when your true self is revealed. That's when the weak voices fade and the warrior within begins to rise. There's a fire inside you that no setback can extinguish. You might stumble, you might break, but as long as that fire burns, you can rise again. Every T in life knocks you down. It's giving you a chance to stand stronger. The difference between those who succeed and those who surrender isn't luck, it's mindset. Some people see struggle and run from it. Others see struggle and run toward it because they understand that within every challenge lies opportunity. The opportunity to grow, to learn, to evolve. Pain is the price of transformation. And those willing to pay it are the ones who change their lives. You may not see it now, but every hard moment has purpose. The sleepless nights, the tears, the failures, they are all part of your training. They're preparing you for a version of yourself you haven't met yet. One day, you'll look back and realize that the moments you thought were breaking you were actually building the foundation for your strength. Struggle doesn't steal your power, it reveals it. So when the world tells you to give up, when everything feels too heavy to carry, remember this: you've already survived the hardest days of your life. You've already walked through storms that should have drowned you, and you're still here. That means there's more inside you, more resilience, more courage, more fight. You were not meant to stay down. You were built to rise. The fire within you was not placed there by accident. It was born from every trial, every tear, every moment you refuse to quit. That fire is your reminder that you have something greater to become. It's your proof that no matter how dark it gets, you can still create light. You can still find a way forward. You can still become the person you were meant to be. 2, struggle is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your strength. The moments that challenge you the most are the ones that define who you are. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when life pushes you to your limits and you choose to push back. You grow when you stop asking why me and start declaring try me. So, the fire within is not loud. It doesn't scream oh or shout. It burns quietly, steadily, with purpose. It's the voice inside that says keep going, even when the world tells you to stop. It's the strength that whispers you're not done yet. Even when your body aches and your heart feels heavy, that fire is your power. The energy that turns struggle into strength, fear into faith, and pain into purpose. So don't run from the struggle. Don't fear the pain. Face it. Embrace it. Let it shape you, strengthen you, and awaken something greater inside you, because every flame that tries to burn you can also forge you if you let it. Brewery, your struggle is not a signal to stop. It's a call to rise. And somewhere deep inside, that fire is waiting for the moment you decide to stop surviving and start becoming unstoppable. Life doesn't ask for permission before it hits you. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't knock softly at the door. It storms in, unexpected and uninvited, shaking everything you thought you could depend on. T. That's the reality of struggle. It's unpredictable. It's unrelenting. It's real. E. Bird. No matter who you are, struggle will find you. It comes in different forms: heartbreak, loss, rejection, failure, disappointment. But it visits everyone, and it never arrives when it's convenient. It shows up when you're already tired, when you've given everything you had, when you think you finally deserve peace. That's when it tests you the most. Because struggle doesn't just challenge what you have, it challenges who you are. You see, the world won't always reward your effort. Sometimes you'll give everything and still come up short. You'll work harder than ever before, and still life will push back. You'll face days when nothing makes sense, when you question why you even started, when you wonder if the pain is worth it. And in those moments, you'll face a choice: to surrender or to stand, to let struggle define you or to let it drive you. The truth is, struggle strips away illusions. It removes comfort, excuses, and distractions until you're left face to face with yourself. It shows you your limits and then dares you to go beyond them. It forces you to confront what you truly believe in, what you're truly willing to fight for. Because when everything around you falls apart, what remains is who you really are. Abrar. Many people run from pain. They hide from struggle, hoping life will somehow become easier. But nothing great is ever built in ease. Growth doesn't happen in safety. It happens in discomfort. The seed breaks before it blooms. The metal is hammered before it becomes a blade. The mountain climber doesn't grow strong by staying at the base. Strength is found in the climb, in the cold, in the struggle to breathe when the air gets thin. Abrar with struggle is not cruelty, it's construction. It's life's way of building resilience, of molding your character, of preparing you for more than you thought you could handle. Every obstacle is a test, and every test carries a lesson. The PA. In you feel today is training for the power you'll need tomorrow. The weight that feels unbearable now is shaping the strength that will carry you forward. But here's what most never realize. The struggle is not there to break you. It's there to reveal you. You never know how strong you are until you're forced to be strong. You never realize how much heart you have until you've been through something that tried to take it from you. The people who shine the brightest are not those who've never fallen. They're the ones who kept getting up, no matter how many times they hit the ground. Abrar life doesn't owe you fairness. It doesn't owe you comfort. It owes you opportunity, and struggle is often the door that leads to it. You may not always see it in the moment, but the hardest seasons of your life are the ones that forge your spirit. They burn away doubt, fear, and weakness until what's left is pure will. That's what struggle does. It purifies. And yes, it hurts. It's supposed to hurt. Jesus, growth hurts. Change hurts. But that pain is a sign of life, a sign that something within you is breaking open, evolving, becoming. Every time you push through, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more. Every time you keep moving when it would be easier to quit, you rewrite your limits. There's no shortcut through struggle. You can't skip the hard parts and expect to reach the top. Every mountain must be climbed. Every storm must be faced. Every wound must heal through time and endurance. But the reward on the other side of struggle is greater than comfort. It's transformation. It's the realization that the same pressure that tried to crush you actually created your strength. So when life pushes you down, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead ask, what is this trying to teach me? Every hardship carries wisdom. Every failure hides a lesson. Every delay prepares you for divine timing. The reality of struggle is harsh, but it's also beautiful because it means you're still in the fight, still growing, still becoming. Hebrew, there will be nights when you cry yourself to sleep, mornings when you don't want to rise, days when you feel like giving up on everything. But remember this, the darkness you're walking through now is temporary. The pain you feel today is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your rise. You are being shaped, stretched, refined for something far greater than this moment. The reality of struggle is that it never leaves you unchanged. You either let it harden you or strengthen you. You either let it silence your spirit or awaken it. You have that choice, always. Struggle doesn't destroy the strong. It defines them. It doesn't take away their hope. It sharpens it. And once you understand that truth, once you stop fearing the battle and start embracing the lesson, you'll realize, the struggle was never there to hold you back. It was there to prepare you to rise higher than ever before. Everything begins in the mind. Before a dream is built, before a goal is reached, before a victory is claimed, it starts as a thought. The most powerful battles you will ever face aren't fought with your hands, they're fought in your head. The war between belief and doubt, between fear and faith, between the voice that says I can and the one that whispers I can't. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you will ever accomplish. You can't control what life throws at you, but you can always control how you respond to it. You can't stop pain from coming, but you can decide whether it breaks you or builds you. The difference between those who rise and those who fall isn't found in circumstance. It's found in mindset. There are two voices that live within you. One tells you to quit, to play it safe, to settle for comfort. It's the voice of fear, loud, persuasive, and familiar. The other voice is quieter, steady, and unshakable. It tells you to fight, to rise, to keep going when the road gets hard. That's the voice of strength. The direction your life takes depends on which one you choose to listen to. Every thought you allow to live in your mind plants a seed. Feed your mind with doubt and you'll harvest hesitation. Feed it with fear and you'll live in limitations. But feed it with faith. Feed it with determination. Feed it with discipline. And you will grow into the person capable of conquering anything that stands in your way. Hey, Bird, the mind is not your enemy. It's your weapon. But like every weapon, it must be trained. You can't expect strength if you never build it. You can't expect clarity if you never quiet the noise. Mastering your mind is the art of mastering your life, because your body, your habits, your choices, they all follow where your mind leads. When the world tells you it's impossible, the mind must whisper, try again. When failure comes, the mind must remind you, this is not the end. When everything hurts, the mind must shout, keep moving. That's the power of mindset. It gives you the ability to stand tall when the weight of life tries to crush you. It gives you courage when fear surrounds you. It turns obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into strength. But mindset isn't something you switch on once and forget about. It's built daily, through struggle, through repetition, through every small decision you make. It's built when you choose discipline over comfort, effort over excuse, persistence over giving up. Every time you show up when it would have been easier to stay down, your mindset grows stronger. Understand this, your mind will believe whatever you tell it most often. If you keep feeding it failure, it will expect defeat. If you keep feeding it excuses, it will accept mediocrity. But if you fill it with strength, vision, and purpose, it will start to create the reality you desire. The thoughts you allow to dominate your mind become the world you live in. So be careful what you speak into your life. Words have power. Constantly, why I am tired. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Your mind will make those beliefs your reality. But if you choose to say, I'm capable, I'm resilient, I'm unstoppable, your actions will rise to meet your words. Your mindset shapes your motion. There will be moments when negative thoughts creep in. That's human. But never let them set up camp in your head. Challenge them. Replace them. Remind yourself of what you've already overcome. The fact that you've made it this far means your strength is greater than your struggle. You've already proven that you can survive. Now it's time to believe you can thrive. When you truly understand the power of mindset, you stop waiting for life to get easier. You stop hoping for the world to change. Instead, you change the way you see it. You start looking at every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, every failure as a lesson in disguise, every storm as a season that will eventually pass. Hey, bro, the power of mindset is not in ignoring pain, but in transforming it. It's in choosing to see purpose where others see problems. It's in deciding that no matter what happens, you will rise again, not because life is fair, but because you are focused, disciplined, and determined. You may not be able to control the waves, but you can learn to navigate them. You may not choose the storm, but you can choose your response. That choice, that inner decision, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The greatest victories begin long before the world notices. They begin in silence, in the mind, when you decide that quitting is no longer an option. When you make the choice to keep believing, to keep working, to keep pushing, even when nothing seems to be working, that's when everything begins to change. Ibri, because once the mind believes, the body follows. Once the mind decides, the world begins to shift. And once you master your mindset, there's nothing, no obstacle, no pain, no failure that can hold you back. Pain changes people. It always does. It can harden the heart or awaken it. It can destroy your faith or deepen it. It can make you bitter or make you better. The direction it takes you depends on what you decide to do with it. Pain itself is not the enemy. It's a messenger. It's there to show you something you've ignored, to strengthen something inside you that comfort never could. You can spend your life running from pain, trying to avoid it, numb it, or hide from it. But the truth is, pain will find you anyway. Not because life is cruel, but because life is real. Every human being who has ever grown, ever achieved, ever become something extraordinary, they all walk through pain. It's the toll we pay for transformation. The moments that hurt the most often hold the deepest meaning. The heartbreak that shattered you taught you how to love yourself. The failure that embarrassed you taught you humility and resilience. The disappointment that broke your confidence reminded you that your worth isn't tied to outcomes. Every wound carries wisdom. Every scar carries a story. The key is not to let pain define you, but to let it refine you. When you start to look at pain through a different lens, you begin to understand that it's not here to stop you. It's here to shape you. Pain exposes what you're made of. It strips away the surface until only truth remains. It demands that you stop pretending, stop running, and face the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. Because healing can't happen in denial. Growth can't happen in avoidance. Pain forces you to look within, and that's where transformation begins. You see, pain isn't just an experience. It's a calling. It's the universe saying there's more inside you. It's the signal that you've outgrown who you were and it's time to evolve. And the moment you stop seeing pain as punishment and start seeing it as purpose, everything changes. Think about this. Every breakthrough in history, every invention, every movement, every story that inspired the world, they were all born out of pain. Someone was tired of suffering, tired of watching others suffer, tired of staying silent. And they decided to turn their pain into power. They decided to take what hurt them and use it to help others. That's where purpose begins. When pain finds meaning beyond itself. Your pain is not meaningless. The tears you've cried, the nights you spent questioning everything, the losses you've endured, none of it is wasted. Every bit of it can become fuel if you choose to use it. You can take that heartbreak and turn it into empathy. You can take that failure and turn it into wisdom. You can take that rejection and turn it into redirection. Nothing you've been through is for nothing. But to turn pain into purpose, you must first stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? The first question keeps you stuck. The second one sets you free because pain doesn't have the power to destroy you unless you let it. The power lies in how you respond. When you channel your pain into purpose, it becomes the driving force behind your strength. It gives your struggle meaning. It turns chaos into clarity. It transforms what was once a wound into a weapon of wisdom. You stop being defined by what happened to you and you start being defined by what you did with it. That's how warriors are made, not by avoiding pain, but by transforming it. They take the same fire that once burned them and use it to light the path forward. They rise not because the pain disappeared, but because they learned how to stand in it without losing their soul. The truth is, your greatest contribution to the world might come from your deepest pain. The part of your story you once wanted to hide might be the very thing someone else needs to hear to find hope. The struggle that made you cry might be the message that helps someone else survive. That's the beauty of purpose. It gives your pain meaning beyond yourself. So D. Don't curse the pain. Don't waste the lesson. Don't run from what's hard. Because everything you've endured is preparing you to be the person you were meant to become. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They're proof that you've survived battles others couldn't see. And survival is strength. When you finally embrace that truth, pain loses its power to control you. It becomes your teacher, not your tormentor. It becomes your guide, not your grief. And every day you choose to rise despite the pain, you turn it into purpose. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. Hey, Bert, see, you are not lost. You are being redirected. Hey, bro, you are not defeated. You are being prepared. Hey, bro, let your pain push you toward purpose. Let it ignite your hunger, your compassion, your courage. Because when you learn to use what hurts you to help you grow, no pain is wasted and no struggle is in vain. The very thing that once tried to break you will one day become the reason you rise higher than ever before. Greatness doesn't. T happened in a single moment of inspiration. It's built in the quiet repetition of ordinary days. Her consistency is not glamorous. It's not loud. It doesn't draw applause, but it's the foundation of everything extraordinary. The world remembers the victories, but it forgets the countless unseen hours that built them. Every champion, every leader, every success story, they all share one thing in common. They showed up. They showed up on the days they felt unstoppable and on the days they felt broken. They showed up when it was easy and when it was unbearable. They kept showing up. That's the secret. Consistency is the bridge between goals and results. It's the gap between dreams and reality. Motivation can start the fire, but consistency keeps it burning. Because motivation fades, emotion fluctuates, and there will be days when you wake up and feel like you have nothing left. But true consistency doesn't depend on how you feel. It's built on decisions, not emotions. It's the decision to keep going even when you're tired, to stay focused even when distractions scream for attention, to stay disciplined even when no one is watching. The truth is, most people give up not because they're weak, but because they're inconsistent. They work hard for a week, a month, a season, and then stop when the results don't show up right away. But consistency is not about instant rewards. It's about the long game. It's about planting seeds and trusting that in time, the harvest will come. You can't rush growth. You can't skip process. The oak tree doesn't rise overnight. The body doesn't transform after one workout. The mind doesn't strengthen after one challenge. Consistency is built one decision at a time. One disciplined act, one focused moment, one small victory stacked upon another. Eve, rise, step forward, no matter how small, matters. The days when you do the work, even though you don't see progress, those are the days that shape you, because it's easy to stay consistent when things are going well. It's when nothing seems to be working that consistency becomes the real test. That's when most people quit, right before the breakthrough. You can't control the outcome of every effort, but you can control the effort itself. And when effort becomes habit, results follow. Consistency compounds. Like drops of water wearing down stone, persistence creates transformation. You might not notice it day by day, but one day you'll look back and realize that the person you've become was built in the small, unseen moments of persistence. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean never falling. It means refusing to stay down. It means getting up every single time you stumble. It means forgiving yourself for the setbacks and recommitting to the process, because success isn't built by those who never fail. It's built by those who never quit. There's power in routine, in discipline, in repetition. It teaches your mind to focus, your heart to endure, and your spirit to trust the process. You become unshakable, not by doing everything once, but by doing the right things over and over again. Consistency is how you prove to yourself that you mean what you say, that your goals are more than words. They're commitments. When you start to live with consistency, something changes inside you. You stop chasing results and start mastering process. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating momentum. You stop looking for motivation and start relying on your mindset. Every small act of consistency builds integrity. Every time you keep your promise to yourself, your confidence grows. You begin to trust your own word, and that's power. Because when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Consistency doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. You don't need to be the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest. You just need to be the one who refuses to stop, the one who keeps showing up long after everyone else has walked away. So keep pushing, keep showing up, keep doing the work that no one else sees. Because the world may not applaud you now, but one day it will wonder how you made it. And the answer will be simple: you never stopped. The power of consistency lies not in doing great things occasionally, but in doing small things relentlessly. Every repetition builds resilience. Every act of discipline builds destiny. So when doubt whispers it's not working, when exhaustion tells you you can't keep going, when results seem invisible, remind yourself, consistency always wins in the end. Because success isn't about one moment of greatness. It's about thousands of moments of persistence. It's about the courage to keep showing up. Even when no one is clapping. Resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about being unshakable. It's about being knocked down and deciding again and again that you will rise. It's not perfection that defines the strong, but persistence. It's the quiet courage to keep moving when your world has fallen apart, to keep believing when the evidence says you shouldn't. Resilience isn't born in the moments when everything goes right. It's born in the storms, in the disappointments, in the nights when hope feels far away. It's built in silence, in the moments when you keep showing up, when you keep trying, when you refuse to surrender to the weight pressing against you. The truth is, life will test your spirit. It will take you to your limits, sometimes beyond them. It will break your plans, disrupt your peace, and shake the ground beneath your feet. But resilience is what lets you stand firm when everything else is crumbling. It's what allows you to bend without breaking. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It's the mastery of endurance. It's looking pain in the eye and saying, you will not define me. It's understanding that adversity doesn't take away your power, it awakens it. Every hardship you face teaches you something that ease never could. Every time you get back up, you're rewriting your story, proving that your spirit is stronger than your struggle. The resilient understand that failure is not final. They know that falling is not the same as being finished. They use every setback as a stepping stone, every disappointment as direction, every heartbreak as motivation to keep pushing forward. Because resilience doesn't ask, why me? It declares, try me. What makes resilience powerful is not that it shields you from struggle, but that it transforms it. It takes your pain and turns it into wisdom. It takes your losses and turns them into lessons. It takes every scar and turns it into a symbol of survival. You begin to realize that the very things that once threatened to destroy you have actually been teaching you how to endure. And endurance is a rare kind of strength. It's silent, steady, and unstoppable. It's not always loud or dramatic. Often it's found in the smallest acts of perseverance. It's in the choice to get out of bed when grief feels heavier than your body. It's in the decision to try again after failure has humiliated you. It's in the courage to smile, to hope, to believe, even when life has given you every reason not to. Resilience isn't built overnight. It's forged through time, through trial, through the hard moments you thought you wouldn't survive but did. Each hardship adds another layer to your strength. Each time you rise, your foundation grows deeper. And one day you look back and realize that the things that once broke you now fuel you. The legacy of resilience is not about how many times you've fallen. It's about how many times you've refused to stay down. It's the mark you leave on the world when you refuse to give in to bitterness or defeat. It's the story your life tells when peak. To see you standing tall after everything you face. The world remembers resilience. It's what inspires others long after the struggle ends. Because people don't connect with perfection. They connect with perseverance. They connect with the one who fell 100 times, but still chose to rise the 101st. They connect with the one who turned pain into purpose, loss into legacy, struggle into strength. And that's what resilience truly is. A legacy. Something that outlives the moment. Something that echoes beyond the pain. It's not just about surviving for yourself. It's about showing others what survival looks like. When you endure, you give others permission to endure. When you rise, you show others that it's possible to rise too. So, when life knocks you down, remember this: you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from strength. Every setback has seasoned you. Every scar has taught you. Every fall has fortified your foundation.
Resilience isn't about bow.
Unsing back to who you were, it's about evolving into someone stronger, wiser, and more grounded. It's about carrying the lessons forward without carrying the pain. And when the storms come, because they will, you'll no longer fear them. You'll stand tall in the wind, knowing that you've been here before, that you've faced worse, and that you're still standing. That's resilience, not the absence of struggle, but the certainty of your ability to overcome it. The legacy of resilience is simple. You kept going.
You refused to quit. You turned your pain into power. And doing so,
You became proof that strength is not about never falling. It's about rising every single time. There comes a moment in every life when you must decide, not with words, but with action, who you are going to be. Not when things are easy, not when the world is cheering for you, but when everything inside you wants to quit. When you're tired, when you're beaten, when you feel unseen and unheard. That's the moment that defines you. This is your moment. The line between who you are and who you can become is drawn right here in your choice to rise. You've carried the weight. You've faced the storms, felt the pain, but you're still standing. That means something. It means there's fight left in you. It means your story isn't finished. It means you have a purpose that pain couldn't destroy. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are every lesson, every comeback, every silent victory that no one saw but you. You are every moment you decided to get up when life tried to hold you down. That is who you are. Now is not the time to shrink. Now is not the time to wait for the perfect conditions. There are no perfect conditions, only perfect decisions. Every great transformation starts with one choice: the decision to rise again. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know exactly. The path leads. You just need to key the next step. One act of courage, one act of faith, one act of defiance against fear. Because progress isn't made in leaps. It's made in steps. Small, steady steps taken every day, even when you can't see the finish line. You've spent enough time doubting yourself, enough time replaying failures, enough time waiting for permission to start. The time for waiting is over. The time for action is now, because nothing changes until you move. The world doesn't respond to thoughts. It responds to action. Rise again. Not because life is fair, but because you refuse to let it defeat you. Rise again. Not because the pain is gone, but because you've learned how to move through it. Rise again, not for applause, not for recognition, but because deep down, you know you were made for more. The world doesn't need more perfection. It needs more persistence. It needs people who can stand tall in their scars, who can say, yes, I've been through the fire, but I'm still here. It needs people who aren't afraid to rise again after the fall, to rebuild what was broken, to fight for what matters. You have that strength. It's already inside you. You don't need to find it. You just need to awaken it. The same spirit that carried you through every dark night, every heartbreak, every loss, it's still there. Waiting for you to stop doubting, stop hesitating, and start believing again. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when the fear completely disappears. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you move anyway. It means you show up trembling, but determined, unsure, but unshaken. Because courage is not the absence of fear, it's the refusal to let fear win. You owe it to yourself to rise again. Not to prove any wrong, but to prove yourself right. To prove that everything you've endured had meaning. To prove that you are stronger than your pain, greater than your circumstances, and destined for more than survival. Don't let your story end in the middle of the struggle. Don't let this be the chapter where you give up. Let this be the chapter where you fight back, the turning point where pain becomes power, where setbacks become strength, where endings become new beginnings. Rise again for the person you were, the one who believed before the world made you doubt. Rise again for the person you are, the one who still stands, still breathes, still dares to hope. And rise again for the person you are becoming, the one who will look back on this moment and say, this is where I changed everything. The road ahead won't be easy. There will still be obstacles. Finished. You are just beginning. You are not defined by your pain. You are defined by your perseverance. Rise again with power, with purpose, with fire. Hebrew, rise again. Not someday, not when you feel ready, but now. Because the world needs your light, your courage, your story. Your struggle was never meant to end you. It was meant to awaken you. Now it's your turn to stand, to fight, to rise. Hebrew, and to show the world the unstoppable force that was inside you all along.